Hello, my name is Eldon Matlick, and I'm the horn professor at the University of Oklahoma. I'm going to give you a clinic over Max Pottag's Etude number 81 from his Preparatory Melodies for solo work. This is probably one of the harder etudes in this book because it has a lot of rapid fire passages and that is extended. The first problem I want to address is the jagged rhythm that starts the first two measures. We have this jagged rhythm with the 16th note right after the second eighth note in the triplet pattern. So if we put this on, these are triplets, that 16th note is going to be halfway between the second and the third click of the triplet. 1, da dee, 2, da dee, 1, da dee, 2, da dee. It's almost like you're saying Amsterdam. Amsterdam, Amsterdam 3. Ali, Amsterdam, Amsterdam 3. So forth like that. There's an acoustical problem with this rhythmic pattern too, because the middle note is not only shorter, which is going to sound a little bit softer, but it's lower, and lower notes take more energy to sound as loud as upper notes. So you're going to have to really pump the volume and kick that note out. Just to make sure that all the notes have the same sonic identity. Look at the passage on the second line. This is going to determine how fast you're going to be able to play this entire exercise. So you can't play the opening faster and then get into trouble and slow this down and then speed up again. The hardest passage is going to determine how fast you're going to take this in the end. So you can get this under your fingers. Practice this entire exercise very, very slowly. And you're going to have to take more time on the 16th note patterns that run through line 2. There is another issue. If you're numbering measures, if you get to measure 10, which is at the end of the fourth line, we have a split measure. We have the first two beats are on the end of the fourth line, but on the beginning of the fifth line, they have put the last two beats of that 12/8 measure. So it's a little disconcerting. So, be ready to continue on. Also, there's a typographical error on the last line. They didn't put all the sharps in the key signature. So you might want to take a pencil and just pencil in the G sharp and the D sharp to complete the E major key signature. Let's go and work on some passages here. Very slowly, and I just am going to play the Amsterdam rhythm. And do that with all the other patterns. Next, let's address the heavy passage starting with the pickups to the second line. What I would first do is slur. That way you get finger rhythm going and you get your airstream going. It's a real handful trying to play that in one breath at that slow speed. But if you could do it then, it's going to be much easier up at the faster tempo. I would even break this down into smaller units. So let the 16th notes lead to the next longer note, or 8th note. Then a big breath. Now, you can use traditional fingerings, but it's a little bumpy. What I recommend is using more B-flat horn. If we look at measure 3, at the very end of the measure, I want to eliminate the long throw second and third. So what I can do, I can substitute the second finger G sharp for the second and third. Yes, it's going to be a little lower, but it's going to be going by so fast that the ease of using that justifies the slight intonation imperfection. That way, if you stay all on B-flat horn, we have a lot of fingering patterns that 1 and 2 to 2 to 1 and 2 to 2, and you're working with less finger movement. So let's look at the last 2 notes on measure 3. Okay, the G sharp is second finger. The F sharp, staying on the B-flat horn, is 1 and 2. Going on to the next measure, the E is 2. D sharp, same as E flat, first finger. Back to E, second finger. F sharp, remember, is 1 and 2. G sharp, with that new fingering, is 2. Going back to your F sharp, 1 and 2. Then we're going to the E again. D sharp, first finger. Then we're going to still stay on the B-flat horn for the next 2 notes as well. C sharp, same as the upper octave. B natural, same as the upper octave. C sharp, D sharp, and E. And it really comes out a lot better. I'll do that again. And it's a lot easier to use, and you'll be able to get a faster finger motion with this. Try that, see how you like it. First, do it slurred, then practice with a goal. Going from the short note to the next long note. Ba-da-dee-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, then a big one. Ba-da-da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-da-da-da-da, all the way to the end. Now, for some people, going from that B-flat horn to the low G sharp, that picks up to the next measure, is a little bit stuffy. If that happens to you, you can play those pickup notes on the B-flat horn too. Then I'd go to the F horn. If it works, great. If you prefer not to do that, that's fine. Whatever works. When the gun of necessity is held to my head, I'm going to find out what I need to do to make sure that I can play it to the best of my ability. As you progress and get more proficient, you will probably get to a point that with a single tongue, you're only going to be able to go so far. What you might want to consider on the extended 16th note passage is to include some double tongue. So what I would do on measure 3, at the end of the third beat, start my double tongue on the A to the B. Taka 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 da, taka taka da, taka taka da. Again, your personal preference. Double tonguing is not cheating. It's just another way to do it. Brass players should always be called upon to do double tonguing at some point or another. So it's a legitimate technique, and don't be afraid to use it. Let's hear what this particular etude sounds like in its entirety.